moment on September 1, 1983. Soviet fighter jets intercepted Korean Airlines Flight 007 after it strayed deep into Russian airspace and shot it down, killing all 269 passengers and crew. The tragedy sharply escalated Cold War tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union. The flight, traveling from New York City to Seoul with a stopover in Anchorage, veered far off its intended path as it neared its destination. Instead of staying on course, the plane crossed into Soviet territory over the Kamchatka Peninsula, home to sensitive military sites. Soviet pilots were dispatched to intercept it, but after failing to make contact, one fired a heat-seeking missile. The aircraft was struck and crashed into the Sea of Japan. This was not the first confrontation between South Korean passenger planes and the Soviet Union 5 years earlier. A Ka-L flight had been forced to land in Murmansk, where two people were killed. In its first public statement about the 1983 disaster, the Soviet government acknowledged only that an unidentified plane had been shot down. The U.S. condemned the attack, with President Ronald Reagan calling it a massacre and suspending several agreements with Moscow, including Soviet passenger flights to the U.S. Days later, the Soviets admitted the aircraft was a civilian jet, but insisted their military had no way of knowing and accused it of espionage. Behind the fiery rhetoric, some American and Soviet officials privately viewed the incident as a tragic mistake. Flight 007 had wandered dangerously close to the route of a U.S. reconnaissance aircraft, which may have confused Soviet radar. Several Soviet commanders in the Far East were later demoted or dismissed. To this day, the reason the jet drifted nearly 200 miles off course remains unknown.